Push the button down. I'm joined with Rex. He's with me right now. How's it going, man?
What's going on?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for taking the time and doing this interview. I appreciate it.
Hey, the pleasure is that of your listeners.
Absolutely, man. So before we begin, I want to make sure how do you pronounce your last name, if you don't mind me asking?
Bacchus. I am Miraculous Rex Bacchus.
Bacchus. Okay, I got you. All right, man. So, I know you got a lot coming up, and we're definitely going to get into your upcoming matches and shows in a bit. But first,
Oh,
what got you started into becoming a wrestler?
I met Macho Man Randy Savage when I was a very young kid. He was the first famous person that I ever met, and just meeting him at such an early age, and he was like a larger than life character, and I was just drawn into that world, and where I'm from, there wasn't really a lot to do. I'm from the middle of nowhere basically, so there wasn't really a lot to do, and wrestling was kind of an escape, kind of my own world. I was able to develop and create my own, and it was a positive escape, a positive outlet, and it has just remained such.
Macho Man Randy Savage, definitely my favorite old school wrestler growing up. I mean, like you said, he was larger than life. That voice of his, I've heard so many stories from, friends and co-workers of interacting with him, and what you see on the TV screen or on shows, that's that guy. He really speaks like that. He actually sounds like that.
That was 100% him. He had that gruff, gravelly voice, and he talked at a higher cadence. I mean but it's like you said though. What you see is what you got. That wasn't an act with him. Macho Man was Macho Man, 24 hours a day.
Oh yeah, and that was one of those guys that I wish I could have met. And I live in Kentucky, and he's wrestled in the Indies out here in Kentucky, and I've heard so many good stories about him, not just as a wrestler but as a person. I still miss him to this day. One of all-time greats.
100%.
Yeah, so Macho Man, he is that man, indeed.
Rest in peace.
So
Rest in peace, Macho.
yeah, absolutely. So for you, Rex, as a current performer, for people that's not familiar with you, how would you best describe your character, and what do you bring to the table that people that may not have seen from anyone else per se?
All right. Rex Bacchus is a conceited, arrogant, over-the-top entertainer. It's very important to Rex to be very flashy and visually appealing. I pride myself on having the best gear in the industry. I get my stuff made by Lince Dorado, who's currently in the WWE. So I definitely invest in myself as much as possible. Try to just stay fresh. As far as in the ring, I mean, I'm not afraid to use my body as a weapon, because I mean I'm clearly not the biggest guy in the ring, and I will never be the biggest guy in the ring, but I'm definitely very physical, and I will use high flying and turn my body into a missile whenever necessary in order to get the job done.
And that makes me satisfied as a fan. Willing to do whatever it takes to entertain the fans, even putting your own body on the line. And wrestlers, I consider y'all one of the toughest athletes in the world. And in looking back in your career, has there ever been a time in a match that you look back when you did a risky move and then you look back and say, maybe I should have done that, or you just go for it, no regrets?
I I have never laid there with a regret, and that's something that is very important to me, both in wrestling and in life, is to not have any regrets through every situation that I'm involved in. So that's why I go out there and I give my all. And I mean, these are calculated risks that I'm taking, you know. So I mean, there's never been a situation where I regretted what I did, because I know what I'm doing.
That's definitely a great mindset to have. You gotta show your opponent that I'm here to take you out by any means necessary. If you go in there with an ounce of fear, you already lost. So
Yes, sir.
you gotta do what you gotta do. So what are some upcoming shows, upcoming matches that people need to keep an eye on in the coming month or so?
All right. I mean, like you said, I have a bunch of stuff coming up, but wrote a couple things coming up soon here. I got February 24th. I'll be at Go Wrestle in Daytona. Got a six-sided ring out there. Then the next day, Sunday, I have a Brawl USA in Newport Richey. March 3rd is the American Combat Wrestling main show at the Gulf View Event Center, also in Newport Richey. March 18th, I will be defending one half of the Riot Pro Tag Team Championships with my boy Chico Adams as one half of the Gorgeous Guys Club. That's January. Yeah, March 18th, Riot Pro Wrestling. And then March 24th, I'll be at Sweetwater Pro Wrestling down in Miami.
I'm glad you mentioned Sweetwater in particular. I've been interviewing a wrestler or two that's also going to be a part of that show. And I'm friends with George Alonzo, who's putting that event together. Shout out to him. Talk about that show in particular, and for those that's never been to a Sweetwater event before, what can people expect going to a show like Sweetwater?
I'm happy that you asked about Sweetwater particularly, just because I think that it's worthwhile to point out the hard work that George puts into promoting these. I mean, when he's not at his regular job, he's working another job to try to get money to make sure that the show is going to be the best that it possibly can be. And you know, he doesn't have to do that. You know, he doesn't have to come out of his own pocket and come out of his own free time in order to make sure that this thing is going to be successful. But it's his brainchild, and it's his baby. And I mean, this man is working nonstop, tirelessly, around the clock to make sure that this is going to be successful. And it's that energy that I see, you know, that makes me want to offer the same amount of energy in return. And I can only see that there's going to be great success with the whole roster filled with people that have this type of motivation. That's not to mention the fact that the cards are ridiculously stacked, which is why, I mean, it makes sense that the man has to have a second job, because I mean, he's bringing in some big names, you know, some of the biggest names that Miami will ever see. So I mean, these shows are super exciting. I mean, Sandman, you know, Bestia 666 are going to be on this upcoming show, in addition to a whole stacked card. I'm excited, man.
Definitely a good time to be a wrestling fan in the 305 Sweetwater Wrestling, March 24th. Please, if you are anywhere near the Miami area, go and check that show out. It's Miami. It's sunny. Spring.
Yeah, come buy some merch. Come buy some merch.
And support Rex. Support all the wrestlers. Support indie wrestling. And check out these performers to put on a show in Miami. There's a lot of things to do in Miami. I get all that, but Sweetwater, that's the place to go on that day and any other day that Sweetwater has a show going on. So go check out Wax, go check out Anna, check out all the performers, and you're in for a good night. So, so go check that out. So as far as 2018, what else do you have in store for 2018? As far as goals, anything particular you want to accomplish, anything you want to do that you didn't do in 2017? What do you have in store for 2018?
Well, what many of your listeners may not know, and you also may not know, I'm actually I'm in the process of beating cancer right now. I'm 5 months into chemotherapy. I've got one left to chemotherapy. So when you ask me what 2018 brings for me, it's a year of being cancer free and moving forward with my wrestling career with nothing holding me back. Because this has been a little bit of a bump in the road, but it's character building, So 2018, nothing but success for Rex Bacchus.
Well, let me just say on behalf of everyone at TMV Cafe, Triple Threat Wrestling Radio, and all those that are listening live and those that will listen on the replay, we rooting for you, and beating cancer, and you keep on fighting, man, and we support you 100%, and I mean that's all I could say, more power to you, man, for not letting cancer stop you from continuing to do your dream,
Yes, sir.
So, and adversity comes with the territory in life. It's a matter of how you take it head on. And you take it head on, and you are still doing what you love to do, and continue success for real, man, for sure.
I'm a firm believer that it's the journey that makes the destination worthwhile.
Absolutely. Journey definitely worth it despite the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations. It's all worth it when you overcome the odds, overcome so much. Before I let you go, Rex, why don't you go ahead and promote your social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any other links that people need to check out?
Boom, will do. Appreciate you. You can check me out on Facebook at Rex Bacchus. That's REACCHUS. I'm also on Instagram at Twitter at The Sex Idol, all one word. Check me out on any of those forms of social media. I will be more than happy to get back to you. Definitely hit me up for booking inquiries. I love talking to promoters and fans. And, hey, I love talking to you. It's been a pleasure.
Great chatting with you, man. Continued success, not just in the ring, but in life in general. Thank you for your time, and go check out all the shows that he mentioned. They'll all be on social media feeds, and go check out Sweetwater once again, 24th in Miami. All the details will be on the social media feeds as well. Continued success, Rex, and you have a good night. Have a great weekend, man.